Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we've got our Govinda farm representation, our maybe Thailand, maybe India, I'm not sure, Rupa Nuga Prabhu representation, and our California representation, and our Thailand, Bangkok, Aparajita Devi Dasi. Been preaching there very nicely in Thailand with Muktinath Prabhu, and we are very happy seeing the photos and hearing the news. All right, and I'll turn on Facebook, and as we do so, then let us chant our Vandanam, mini Vandanam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saha Ganalalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Om Gyan Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvijay Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Well, welcome also Bhima Krishna Prabhu, welcome. Galta Devi Dasi, welcome. You've joined us in the last few minutes, few moments, and sorry, just one thing, trying to start Facebook. One moment, back to Facebook. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. All right, so we are on Facebook, dude. Dear devotees, please excuse. I only have two hands. I only have one head, so I had to put them in other duties just then. All right, well, we have Paramananda Prabhu with us. There was the subject which is brought up by Kumkum Devi Dasi for the four sampradayas, the four Vaishnava sampradayas. And I can probably guess she won't be with us today or for the next little while because she's going to be in Europe for 2 months. Now is March, April, May. She's going to be in Europe for over 2 months because she's going to be in UK for the May festival, which means the 40th anniversary of the installation of the deities. So she's going to be here where it's a little early for the regular residents to be up and about. And so I think we should address this because it's been waiting for a long time, Paramananda Prabhu. And we've got Paramananda Prabhu here, we've got Keshavananda Prabhu here, and we have a smart young man called Leela Moy Prabhu here also. I don't know how much he knows, but he's in good association and he does regularly read the books according to the way Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj gave the direction. In other words, not always reading, but we have our morning reading, evening reading, and seva. That's the main thing. So, Paramananda Prabhu and Keshavananda Prabhu, would you like to start us off about the four Vaishnava Sampradayas? I do have the quotes or the section from Navadip Dham Mahatmya, where Mahaprabhu is saying he takes 2 parts from each Sampradaya. And I do have some other little bits and pieces, but if you wish to elucidate, I think it's good to start with you both.
Elucidate away.
Elucidate. Oh, Maharaj, I have to, something just happened just before the Zoom. So I have maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I have to attend some guests who just showed up randomly, as it happens time to time. But Keshwananda here, he can keep elucidating on the subject, and also we have Lilamoy Prabhu
He's
here.
full of elucidation.
But I can quickly address the Kumkum Didi's question. And can you remind Maharaj what the question was?
She asked to explain about the 4 Vaishnava sampradayas, because she said the devotees, they don't know. I mean, many.
Oh, I think the question was actually about how Madhavacharya, how Mahaprabhu would appear in the lineage of Madhavacharya and the Madhavacharya Brahma Madhava Sampradaya. And
okay, well, you've got her question better than myself.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, everyone knows there are 4 Sampradayas. We can start from this.
Maybe
and
or maybe not. Yes. Yeah.
All the 4 Sampradayas have divine backing. That's important to know. They're here for a reason, and they have a full divine backing of the Lord. And they represent different aspects, different nature and qualities and names and pastimes of the Lord. So it's this very solid establishment, and we shouldn't think, oh, we're somehow higher than the others. No, we have to respect absolutely everyone. And this is something that was expressed by Baladeva Vidyabhusan. And recently, we've been there at Galta, where the meeting happened with representatives of all 4 sampradayas and sub-branches of the sampradayas. So we should also remember it's not just 4. Each sampradaya have different branches, different what you would call them, schools that branched out from the main trunk of the sampradaya. So they were all present, and in the end, they were so astonished by the eloquence and depth of representation of Vedanta through Govinda Bhasya that they all submitted, and they said, we would like to be converted into the Gaudiya line. Please, you accept us as your followers. And he said, no, with all due respect, and I'm honored by that offering, but all of you have the reason to be in this particular lineages because you represent different aspects of the Lord, and this is Lord's will for them to exist. You please go on, but do not show disrespect or cause any trouble in our lineage, and especially our right to worship the deities and all of that. Anyhow, that's a different story. I'm pretty sure Keshwananda Prabhu will say more about it. But Kumkum Didi's question was, why in Madhava Sampradaya, like Mahaprabhu would appear, what is to continue that lineage? What is that connecting link? Because as we've been recently speaking about the glories of Madhavendra Puri at the Govinda Kund, his seating place where the famous pastime happened when Gopal appeared in his dreams, so for the glorifying Madhavendra Puri, and remembering the article of Srila Guru Maharaj called The Pontifical Position of Madhavendra Puri. And that article is from a while ago, 1950s perhaps, he wrote it, dedicating to Madhavendra Puri's probably appearance day, where he establishes him as an important link connecting the main trunk of Brahma Madhava Sampradaya with what is to be Mahaprabhu's tree, the trunk of Mahaprabhu's tree, introducing prema and maturya sentiments into the lineage of Brahma Madhava. But another thing that we share in common is, I'm just quickly going to put what we call them, synopsis, is that one of the main teachings of Madhavacharya is that one of few, we are the particles of Krishna, and we are subservient to him. So he is the Lord, and we are the servitors. So when Mahaprabhu is giving instructions to Sanatana Goswami, it starts from a question, who I am, and then the answer follows. And the first sentence Mahaprabhu says, Jivirasa Rupahoy Krishnera Nitidas, Jivirata Tasta Shakti Heda Abheda Prakash. So he's establishing that truth of the Madhava Acharya's lineage, the Madhava Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, and that is our connection. And then he takes it further, following the footsteps of Madhavendra Puri. So in that article, Srila Guru Maharaj points out that when, in our case, being the followers of Gaudiya line, Rupanuga line, that is an important moment, historical moment in our Guru Varga, in our Parampara, because Madhavendra Puri occupies a very important position. So we're branching out from there. And I think Krishnakant and Munindra, they pointed out, pontifical means
Bridge.
establishing a bridge. It's a Latin word. So he established that bridge to the fifth goal of life, the Madhurya Ras, the highest possible relationship with the Lord. That kind of mood was introduced by him. So he points out, when we say Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, quite often that Madhva to even a higher extent refers to Madhavendra Puri, but not Madhavacharya. Anyhow, it's all subtle things that we have to consider. And my iPad is messaging me, saying that I really have to go. But here is Keshavananda Prabhu, who can continue that line of thought. And for Sampradayas, Lakshmi, Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, headed by Ramanujacharya. We can say at least that much for now. He is the Acharya who spread the glories of Sri Sampradaya, the teachings of Sri Sampradaya on a larger scale. But before him, there was Jamuna Acharya who actually established that lineage firmly. And Ramanujacharya takes it further and preaches on a wider scale. And then there's Nimbarka, Sampradaya represented through 4 Kumaras, and Vishnu Sampradaya, represented through Lord Shiva originally, and then Lord Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Okay, now I have to go.
Hare Krishna.
My obeisance is to the devotees.
Okay, do good for the guests. Tell them about
That's
Krishna. Chant Krishna's name.
Yes,
You
I
know
want
what
to take
do.
some. That's my plan.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Keshavananda Prabhu. Good to see your evening arti yesterday. And all the devotees there. If it was yesterday's arti, maybe the day before, I don't know. Look, here's
Yes,
Indulekha, she's greeting you. And we are all
yes,
greeting her.
happy to see her face. Oh, Krishnananda Prabhu, yes, wonderful
Yeah.
to see him. Yes. So, well, I'm not so knowledgeable, Maharaj, but you know, the Lord is infinite and inconceivable and has so many, you know, we sing the Dasa avatar, the 10 avatars, but so many avatars he has, so many manifestations, and there's so many Vaishnavas who are worshipping him and serving him in different heart moods and different conceptions, because he is so great, can be seen in so many ways. And we're giving our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all the Sri Vaishnava, all the Vaishnavas, and ultimately to every jiva soul. We're giving some pranam, so there's all kinds of, like, you know, technical things which I'm not so good at. You know, Madhvacharya was essentially trying to defeat the Mayavadis who were stressing the similarity with the jiva and the Lord, and ultimately saying it's the same, stressing that aspect. So Madhvacharya was very much stressing the difference that no, there's two, there's Jiva and Lord. But he, and then Mahaprabhu, you know, gave the beautiful Chintya Veda Tattva, both things simultaneously, inconceivably, wonderfully are true. So he had his time, place, and you know, he was in a particular time where that was the dominant opposition, and that point had to be made very strongly. And those sampradayas are, for the most part, worshipping Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan, which covers a spectrum of heart mood, but not the whole, not the whole spectrum, not the whole totality. But they say in Vaikuntha, what, 2.5 rasas or something like that. In Vaikuntha, there's neutrality and servitorship, and then little hint of friendship in some of the devotees there. But it's not the wild jungle village life of Vrindavan or Navadip. It's not like that there. But it's it's truth, it's reality, and it's beautiful and wonderful. So they are all our brothers, sisters, cousins, family members. But we're very happy to have our own close family and our own father, mother, guardians under the radiant Ujjvala, shining, beautiful lotus feet and lotus hearts of Srila Saraswati Thakur and Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj. So, yes, what can I say, Marge? I'm not a scholar like that of all the subtle differences, but anyway, we're hearing Mahaprabhu. We're hearing Mahaprabhu's Leela every day, very happily. Just now, he's been going out. You know, there was some trouble with the authorities, with a certain Mr. Kazi, who had even broken drums and had caused a big kolahala in Navadip. And so the devotees, Mahaprabhu and his devotees had to sort that out, and a very wonderful. And then we heard at the end of that description that those who hear this description become free from all offenses. So we were saying that this is more reason not to fall asleep during the morning reading, because, you know, if you just simply hear it, you become free of all offenses. So we're praying that we can hear properly and receive these blessings from Kaviraj Goswami. And then we've been reading the beautiful dignity of the divine servitor. So we're hearing so many, you know, in a similar way, we're hearing of, you know, Srila in the Gaudiya mat also, even what to speak of other Vaishnava sampradayas. In our own family, there's so many personalities. There were so many disciples of Saraswati Thakur who established their own missions and, you know, have their own followers and their own unique personal relationship with the Lord, and understanding and what they've caught and are carrying of the current of Saraswati Thakur. We're hearing so many, you know, of Srila Govinda Maharaj's earlier life, because he was only a young boy. He was 17. Within 1 week, Guru Maharaj was saying, this is the boy, he's going to be the one who's going to take over from me. And he had him what was the word, checked out by Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. What do you think, Babaji Maharaj? And he, in his own inconceivable way, made that inspection and said, "Yes, I think you're right. I think this is the boy." And then this young boy and his relationships, not only with his own peers, but with his guru's godbrothers, his uncles. So I don't know what the word is. So funny and beautiful and just amazing to hear. And we heard today this of was it Tirtha Maharaj? I think it was Tirtha Maharaj. What's his name? Bhakti? I can't remember. Bhakti something. Huh? Vilas. Thanks, Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Maharaj, who was another great luminary of the Gaudiya Mat. His guru, Srila Saraswati Thakur, had written verses about him, glorifying him, and had them chiseled into the wall at the Bag Bazaar Gaudiya Mat. And what was the Sanskrit expression he used about him? Prabhupada Presta, very dear to Prabhupada, dear to Saraswati Thakur. So we're not, a big personality, but at that particular time, he and Tirtha Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj were not on speaking terms. And they all appeared at the station at the same time. It was Gorpanim time, it was some other time. And they were all on the platform at the same time, and Srila Govinda Maharaj was feeling the need to go and offer obeisance to Srila Tirtha Maharaj, and he asked Guru Maharaj, I want to go and give Dandavat. Guru Maharaj says, yes, of course. And how Srila Govinda Maharaj went and offered Dandavats and charmed everybody. At the beginning, they were a little aloof like that, and by the honor and affectionate respect and love of Srila Govinda Maharaj, they were all smiling and happy, and his broad heart made everything wonderful. So, and when we hear a lot about this, we read a lot about this, even even in the upper world, the different camps, the different groups of servitors, and how they have disagreements sometimes, and how they're not always on the same page, but their desire is to please their Lord, but they not necessarily have always the exact same idea of the way to do that. So the same within the Vaishnava world, within families and the wider family of different ideas. So it always brings us back to Srila Govinda Maharaj's constant appreciation for and showing the Chanada Pisani Chanata Rulivasa Hishnuna, and these shlokas of the secret formula, sometimes referred to as the secret formula, to be humble, to be tolerant, to give honor. Sounding very easy, but with my egotistical brain and pratishta, that pratishta meaning like, the walls that I have put up about the way things should be. And, as long as it's like this, then I'm cool. But as soon as it's not like that, then and not open to be able to I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're giving obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and the different sampradayas, and yes. Other than that,
If you like,
don't.
Yeah, if you like, I
Yes.
can read just a little bit, because that will give some clarification. And one of the things, by the way, when I was going through was that it was in affectionate guidance, I believe, that I read how, like you're saying about harmonizing the different sampradayas. But one very notable point, and Srila Gurudev pointed out that at the Mayapur central main temple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Gaudiya Mat, the Gaudiya mission, then he has there the deities of Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna on the main altar, but on each corner of the temple, when we do parikrama, there is a murti of each of the principal sampradayas, these 4 Vaishnava sampradayas. So that is also giving that recognition and honor in a preaching way, because remember, Srila Saraswati Thakur is always wanting to present what is Krishna consciousness, and hence giving honor to all of those departments. So that was one thing. But I thought I'd just give, if I can, I had it in front of me, I'll just give you just a very brief description of the 4 sampradayas. But what I'm going to read from is the hidden treasure of Navadip Dham, which means it's the book Sri Navadip Dham Mahatmya. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, later, when I begin the Sankirtan movement, I myself will preach using the essence of the philosophies of the 4 acharyas, Madhva, Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, and yourself, Nimbaka. So this is when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave revelation to Nimbaka in Navadip Dham. It's in the Navadip Dham Mahatmya. And in Navadip Dham Mahatmya is Mahaprabhu giving revelation to each of the 4 acharyas. And remember that they are all pure. It's not contaminated, but they're not quite full. They each have, as Keshwananda said, for time, place, and circumstance, each have given us a particular emphasis, but the whole complete, full-fledged theism, this expression of Srila Guru Maharaj, was coming when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu drew the particular strengths of each of these sampradayas and then brought them together into that achintya, Veda Siddhanta philosophy, simultaneously one and different. So it's very brief. Mahaprabhu is telling to Nimbaka that from the Madhva Sampradaya, so I will accept 2 teachings from Madhva. His complete refutation of impersonal philosophy, so that's one from the Madhva Sampradaya, and his worship of the Krishna deity, which he accepts as the eternal form of Godhead. So that's from the Madhva Sampradaya. From the Ramanuja Sampradaya, I will accept 2 teachings: the ideal of devotion unpolluted by karma and jnana, and 2, service to the devotees. The ideal of devotion unpolluted by karma and jnana, jnana shunya bhakti, and service to the devotees. And from the Vishnu Swami's teachings, I will accept 2 principles: the mood of exclusive dependence upon Krishna, and the path of Raga Marga, Raga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service. And from you, O Nimbaka, I will also accept 2 principles: the gopis' love for Krishna as the highest form of devotion, and the necessity of taking shelter of Srimati Radharani. And then if you just like the next line, because sad and happy at the same time, Nityananda Prabhu concluded telling this pastime. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared, and Nimbaka wept out of divine love. After worshipping the holy feet of his guru, he left this place and set out to preach Krishna Bhakti. Means Nimbaka. So that is like the technical, I mean, it's not technical, well, it's not technical. That's the side, that's giving us the understanding about the contribution and the recognition of those acharyas, that Mahaprabhu himself comes to them in former times before he appeared in Navadip. And a very brief a description of Madhava Acharya, etc. This is taken from the glossary of the Navadip Dham Mahatmya, by the way, the edition, the temple's edition, which came later, which is the verse by verse edition. So just very briefly, here it is, like a sentence about each. Okay, 2 sentences, oh, 3 sentences. Madhva Acharya, the founder of the Brahma Sampradaya, one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas in the age of Kali. Okay, so in the age of Kali, the founder. Madhvacharya appeared in the 13th century as a Karnataka Brahmin. Karnataka is a state in South India. And from a young age used his superhuman strength and intelligence to serve the Supreme Lord. He established the Vedantic school of Shuddha Dvaita, pure dualism, and vigorously refuted Advaitavad, the non-dualism taught by Shankara Acharya. And so he vigorously refuted Advaitavad through his touring, preaching, debating, and writing. Okay, then Nimbaka, also known as Nimbaditya, is the founder of the Kumar Sampradaya, one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas in the age of Kali. Nimbaka Acharya appeared in a family of Tailanga Brahmanas on the bank of the Godavari river. He eventually met Devashi Narad and received from him initiation into the worship of Radha and Krishna, as well as a Shalagram Shila known as Sarveshvara. He went on to establish the Vedantic school of the Dvaita, dualistic non-dualism. I'll leave that with all of you. Some of it becomes a little technical in our descriptions, definitions. So he went on to establish the Vedantic school of Dvaita, dualistic non-dualism, and promoted the worship of Radha and Krishna as the supreme form of devotion. And then Ramanuja Acharya, the foremost proponent of the Sri Sampradaya, one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas in the age of Kali. Ramanuja Acharya appeared in the 11th century as a South Indian Brahmana. And with the blessings of Sri Jamuna Acharya and other Vaishnavas, he established the Vedantic school of Vishishta Advaitavad, qualified non-dualism. Preached widely throughout India, founded numerous temples, and showed above all the dignity of surrender to the Lord. And Vishnu Swami, the founder of the Rudra Sampradaya, one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas in the age of Kali. There are varying accounts of Vishnu Swami's birth and activities, but he is best known for his establishment of Shuddhadvaitavad, pure non-dualism, and the worship of Radha and Krishna. Anyhow, Mahaprabhu's description of how he took 2 strengths from each of the Sampradaya does illustrate to us in kind of straightforward English or straightforward expression, the 2 strong principles from each of the Sampradayas. From Madhava, complete refutation of impersonal philosophy and his worship of the deity of Krishna, which he accepts as the eternal form of the Lord. From Ramanuja, accept two teachings: the ideal of devotion unpolluted by karma and jnana, and service to the devotees. From Vishnu, I will accept two principles: the mood of dependence upon Krishna and the path of raga marga, raga bhakti, spontaneous devotion. And from Nimbaka, accepted the gopis' love for Krishna as the highest form of devotion and the necessity of taking shelter of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. And in the chat box, then Sevarupa, she's asked, please accept my humble obeisances to you all. Please shed some light on Sri Madhavendra Puri's position in Krishna Leela. Well, it was interesting just now to hear from Keshwananda and Paramananda Prabhu that Krishna Kanta pointed out pontifical means bridge. Pont, le Pont Neuf, a famous bridge in Paris. There may be a Pont 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure, but somehow or another, bridge number 9 is famous. But anyway, pont means bridge. And in that article, which I did have, I was looking just a few minutes ago. One moment. I see it's in another application. It's come up. Okay, I just read a very short part because this is this particular stress. So this is from this article, the pontifical position of Madhavendra Puri. And this article is written by Srila Bhakti Rapak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj in 1935. 1935. That's 90 years ago. So Sri Madhavendra Puri, this is within the article, by the way. So of course it's a little bit long. I won't read the whole thing. This is a short paragraph. Sri Madhavendra Puri was an acharya of the Madhava school and is considered to be the connecting link between Madhva and the Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is accepted both by the Madhva as well as by the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradayas. Please excuse. The author of the Shri Gaura Ganodesh Deepika, Srila Baladeva Vidyabhusan, and others have left authentic records to that effect. Hare Krishna. Anyway, this is like just a very short thing about the bridge between the sampradayas. But Srila Madhavendra Puri, he was also known as the sprout of pure devotion, the sprout of Prema Bhakti. And there is another article by Srila Guru Maharaj too, and it's in one of the Gaudiya Vaishnava, one of the Gaudiya Darshan magazines that came from the mat in English. The English translation is there, but it's the sprout of Krishna Prema. This way, there's a seed and then there's a sprout, and then from Madhavendra Puri, then we know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took this particular line of understanding. Hare Krishna, and from the sprout came full-fledged Krishna Prema given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, given by Nityananda Prabhu, given by Srila Guru Maharaj, given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Hare Krishna. So now Sevarupa has put a screenshot. Oh, I see. She's put a screenshot of what I read. All right. And she's put the link for the Madhavendra Puri Pontifical Position, Harmonist, Scan, 1935. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. Yes, so Keshavanand Rule. Has that given you some extra thought along the way that you like to add?
Not especially, Maharaj, but it was very wonderful that you found that so concisely from Navadip Dhammahatmya, the 2 points that
Yes.
Mahaprabhu. Wonderful. So
I previously looked for that, thinking it must be in Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. So I had a bit of a hard search, but came up. But this is maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. But you know, sometimes when you have difficulty to find something, when you do find it, then you're very happy. Kind of stays a little bit. So the Navadip Dhammahatmya, excuse me, is an amazing book. Amazing revelation. Again, revelation. Everything is revelation. And by the way, we use a lot of Sanskrit words just now, and then dualism and different non-dualism and dualism. There is, and I won't read it, I mean, because it's too long to read, but we can refer you to the book Divine Aspiration. I mean, you means all, to the book Divine Aspiration by Srila Guru Maharaj. And the student asks, Srila Guru Maharaj, could you explain in essence the difference between the teachings of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas? So then Srila Guru Maharaj comes to explain about these, but he does begin, interestingly. He says, this has been given in detail in the Gaudiya Patrika, which was the weekly paper published during our Guru Maharaj's time, means Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati time. And then Srila Guru Maharaj says, here I'm giving only the summary to you. And begins, by the way, I'm not going to read it all. This is one sentence, literally. Nimbaka's teaching is known as Dvaita Dvaita, Madhavacharya's as Shuddha Dvaita, Vishnu Swami's as Shuddha Dvaita. Oh, I see. No. So Madhavacharya's as Shuddha Dvaita, 2 separate words. And Vishnu Swami's as Shuddha Dvaita. And Ramanuja's as Vishishta Dvaita. So it starts off with all those long words, but then Srila Guru Maharaj comes into the flowing English and explains about these sampradayas. And so this is definitely helpful. It's going to be too long to paste into the box, but I'm sure that Seva Rupa, maybe she already did it while I'm looking at this. She can give a link to the book Divine Aspiration, and it's the chapter called Gradations of Theism. So there you can find it. Oh, there we are. Well done, Seva Rupa. She's put the link there to download the PDF. And the important thing about all this is that Mahaprabhu is showing that the current, there must be a current. And Mahaprabhu is showing that. He could have started everything and just said, okay, I am telling you all of this. And, he's the Lord himself. Everything originates from the Lord himself. But he came, yes, for more than one purpose. He came, the principal purpose, as the avatari Lord. He's come to taste himself what is that pure devotion of Srimati Radharani. But he's come as the Guru also. When the Lord becomes himself the Guru, he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he's come to show, as the perfect Guru, the spotless Guru, he's come to show what is the proper conduct, what is the method. So he has accepted a spiritual master. And this brought great trouble to whom? Keshavananda Prabhu. When one of the great Vaishnavas was very young, wasn't it Shivananda Sen's son? Not Shivananda Sen's, Srivas Thakur's son, I think. He heard his father explaining that Mahaprabhu has a guru, and then he was very disturbed. How can Mahaprabhu have a guru? He's the Supreme Lord himself. And then he became pacified to hear how he's showing the exemplary path of devotion that we need to be connected, and connected in a proper way. There are so many gurus in the world. And Srila Gurudev also points out about our surrender to Guru, hearing from Guru, etc. But then it says, but the Guru must be perfect. I mean, by that implies that many a Guru may not be perfect. And not only that, to get a perfect Guru is very rare in this world. And we've been, I don't want to say spoiled, but we've had that luxury of 3 perfect gurus sort of in this generation. And the perfect gurus of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Gokishoras Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the beginning of this wave of Krishna consciousness. And then the line going back through Baladeva Vidyabhusan, going through Vishwanath Chakravarti, Narottam Das Thakur, etc. Priyanana, maybe Advaita Acharya Sanachyutananda. Okay, it's a maybe until Seva Rupa, someone comes up with the answer. We'll keep it as one of the great Vaishnava's sons was very much distressed hearing that Mahaprabhu had a guru, and he was only 5 years old. Oh, I see, that was a direct message. Okay, I appreciate that.
We have lots of homework today, Maharaj. Now we're feeling inspired to read Sri Navadip Mahatmya, to read Divine Aspiration. I think the last time I read Divine Aspiration was in Italy. We were reading it, and I remember at the time thinking, this is the best book ever. Not only that, each chapter we read was, this is the best chapter ever. So that we can get some nourishful enthusiasm to go to these places. You know, a question can lead us to, oh, we should, hear more about that, which takes us to a book in our, wonderful and quite extensive library that has been left to us, the words of our gurus in book form. And now, what was the last thing? Oh, and then to find out whose son it was, who was upset by the fact that Mahaprabhu had taken Guru. So all kinds of very relishable and tasty homework, or to explore and be nourished by.
I can see Seva Rupa is at home, and she's working very hard to try to find this answer.
Oh, yeah. And then you come across so many other things that are also wonderful in the process, It's like turning the pages of the songbook, and then there's another song you want to sing, and then you turn the page, oh, there's another song you should sing.
Yes, I remember that. We read the best book ever, and we read the best chapter ever. I remember that. Hare Krishna. And remember, keep in mind for everybody that don't take these books for granted. When we came to Srila Guru Maharaj, we did not have any book. Right. And we've got so much now recorded for our guidance. But the main thing is savor. It is all fuel. And to know that we've got proper guidance, proper shelter, and proper savor connection. So when we are doing savor in this line, it is going right to the target, the very target. And that's the grace of Sri Guru, really Sri Guru's grace. And we've got this opportunity in the highest quarter of the highest place. So these books are all to help us to be faithful and be serviceful and to do service. Service, service, service. Service is life-giving. Let me just change the view here a little bit. Yes, and well, any question from any quarter. And we've got Krishnananda Prabhu with us, a wise soul in Texas. And they've been driving recently and seeing deer, etc., etc. Oh dear.
I heard the oh dear echoing across the property, yes, and it immediately reminded me of the Vaishnavas. So that was a joyful little moment. But yeah, Maharaj, just sending our obeisances to everybody and happy to see you, Jai Gurudev.
And can you verify or not? Are those real flowers in Indulekha's hat, or are they plastic flowers?
I do not have the eyes to see what is real or not in this world, I've discovered. So
I made this, Maharaj, from paper.
Oh, from paper. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Krishna is very clever, and so are his devotees. Krishna makes millions of flowers and with scent and all these things, and the devotees, they make also beautiful flowers from paper. Very good. I can see everyone's face, they're all impressed. We are all impressed. The power of Krishna and his devotees.
Kijai.
Gangalila Devi Dasi sending a heart. And I know Bimal Krishna was always got something inside bubbling up, a little volcano there. I say, oh, but this reminds me of this reminds me of that. Would you like to share a little something on the subject or not on the subject, Bimal Krishna? The subject is devotion, devotees, sweetness, beauty, love, affection, all these things which our gurus always bring us to.
Jai Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat devotees. Just the thought that really comes to me strongly now is just thinking about how fortunate we are to come across, like, somehow to end up at the feet of Srila Gurudev and these great Vaishnavas, and just, it's not enough just to say that, like, I have some pride that Srila Govinda Maharaj is my Gurudev, but like, same thing with the books, like taking them for granted, so to speak. Like, we also have our part, and just realizing how almost impossible it is that we've come across this connection. Like, we shouldn't take it for granted. And just speaking for myself, like, it just, the importance of actually trying to serve. Sorry, my kid's throwing a fit next door here. But I guess just trying to become a perfect disciple, you know, in some way, or just, I mean, that's impossible for me, but at least trying, you know, and just trying to serve Gurudev and trying to keep that connection. And I'm just really, I have a lot of gratitude for the devotees, because I mean, my life away from everybody just makes me realize how important it is. I mean, I try to think of things when I'm at work, and, you know, try to live in a Krishna conscious type consciousness, but it's sometimes it seems so impossible. But when I'm, you know, in the presence of devotees, things become much clearer. But sorry, I ramble on. I think about a lot of stuff, and it is it bubbles out, unfortunately, so forgive me. But anyway, we have a connection, you know, and we should just really take it seriously. I've wasted so much time in my life, and I'm fortunate, you know, now to be here with you all. So Jai Srila Gurudev, and my dandavats to you all.
Dandavas Bhima Krishna, we love your bubbles. You said you bubble along. We love your bubbles. And Keshavananda's got a big bubble there, look. And
I've got a
no,
bubble.
well, looked like you had. You came forward.
Oh, I have to get close to the screen, Marge, to see everybody's faces. I'm just relishing seeing all the devotees so happily. The names of the devotees are our happiness, and seeing them even more so. And what Bhima Krishna Prabhu was saying is so important, you know, in this world where so many things are there to capture our time and attention and focus and many things. So Gurudev has, you know, has given so many instructions and so many words and so many books and so many things, and time to come together that we can, you know, pivot back to reality. And necessary, you know, we're very much reliant on each other, fellow travelers, family members, to keep us safe, you know, and to keep us progressive and going on as possible by us, you know, understanding that actually all the power and all the capacity lies with Sri Guru and Vaishnava, and that simply by the attempt to try to serve them in any way we can, and to not leave their blessed association, then that is my prayer. And then very happily we can go on and we can hear wonderful things, and then we can engage in wonderful services of unlimited types, you know. Now Jai Gauranga Prabhu is here making a garland, and we know that Bimal Krishna Prabhu will be going to his work, and Krishnananda Prabhu will be running his business, and everybody, so many different things they're doing, but we're trying to do those things to please, to further our service to our children and to our families in the line of Srila Gurudev's devotional family. So it's, you know, it was said about Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, he built a house in which the whole world can live. And we're very much also residents of that house, and are so thankful to have my brothers and sisters and uncles and aunties. Well, yes, uncles and aunties. Although some of our aunties are not here today. I noticed Kumkum Devi in Italy. She like a busy somewhere.
She's
and we're
busy
getting
in the
just
Bhagavad
by
Gita class, yeah.
oh,
They're
she's
doing
doing
Bhagavad Gita class this time.
Okay, so yes, it's like in all directions, wonderful. So yes, what can I say? We all know it's the truth, you know, with the Shraddha, a little bit of Shraddha, and Sadhu Sangha, you know, it's the first thing, it's the everything. Without that, nothing is possible. With that, everything is possible, really. So we're very grateful. And Mohanananda Prabhu would be very happy if I can express my gratitude. Very grateful to Gurudev, who's given so many things, including all my brothers and sisters and cousins and aunties and uncles and my family. Such a beautiful family throughout the world, in the four corners of the world, and then in Zoom can come together from so many places. And it is we hear it many times, it's a heart connection. Gurudev's saying it, it's not about, you know, gyan, it's not about knowing all the fine differences between the sampradayas, interesting and wonderful as those things may be, but even the sweetest and simplest heart expression coming from the devotees can make our day and give us hope and give us energy and renewed enthusiasm. And it really is some heart substance thing that we're dealing with. So we're happy happy to be with everyone.
All right,
Something
beautiful.
beeping.
And here, it may be early in the morning, but we've got devotees going back to Latvia just now. They changed the times of the flights. They leave very early in the morning to Latvia, 7:40. So they have to leave from here. So I'll go through to see the devotees off. But the good news is that one devotee here, Lavanya Moy of Latvia, she can't stay away. She's coming back on the 17th, which is less than 2 weeks' time. I'm going to bring another devotee, Venu Gita, you know her, Keshanandu, bringing back a devotee with her, Venu Gita. So going away now, 1, and coming back 2. All right, dear devotees, so let us all continue. And by the way, little mention because we've got Rukmini Devi Dasi with us and we haven't seen her for a little while. So just to say, Rukmini, welcome. Hope the devotional world is continuing happily with you. The other world, don't worry about it. So we're happy to have you with us. And of course, everybody, Narayani Nadi and Nirupama Devi Dasi. That looks more like you. You had a picture of, was it Arjuna? Of another picture on there just now as your thumbnail. Prema Sindhu Prabhu, South Africa. And I also saw Ananda Sundari in South Africa just a short while ago, which is continued. And Madhava Prabhu in Facebook and other devotees in Facebook and who are seeing the recorded version. And anyone I've missed out, Shyama Priya Ndiri. But anyone I've missed out, please excuse. But I know also later, I know Kumkum's going to listen to this later because she said, I'll listen to the recorded version. So she'll have that opportunity and others also. Yes, Rukmini, very happily remembering you. And as Keshananbu said, the names of the devotees are our joy. And this is also in the songbook, that magic book, which is always giving us life and inspiration. Jai Srila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Jai Srila Guru Maharaj Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai and Jai Srila Prabhupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai and Jai the whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai all the 4 Sampradayas ki Jai Navadip Dham Mahatmya ki Jai Divine aspiration, ki jai, the homework of all of you devotees, ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. And all the savor of all the devotees, however small, we may think, oh, we're doing something insignificant, but we'll do something. We are to be servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And one way we're serving is following the directions of Sri Guru, chanting our japa, offering our food, reading a little bit each day, and trying to remember Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, this Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, 9 processes of devotion. Do the best we can. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Matsud Maharaj ki Jai.
Leelamoy Prabhu wants to say something. We didn't give him an opportunity today. Opportunity will come. He's got his ticket to Vila Govinda already. And no ticket out from Vila Govinda, we note. Okay. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Krishnananda Prabhu, good to have you with us. We don't see you every time, but we know you're there in the background. Jai Nitai.
Living on the virtual association, flying high on the memories and the connection that I'm always with the devotees.
Jai. Damdavad Prabhu, we are flying high, remembering you and remembering the devotees. And interesting, okay, lots of interesting things. We remember you often, by the way, and we can mention something another day, but so in a very happy way, remember you often, with incense also. And you know the incense story from Navadip, which included room 15 of the men's guest house. Another day.
It was the best of
Dandavad.
times. It was the best of times.
Best of times, yes. Dandavad, tutti devoti, ami ashchi. Now I'm going to see off the devotees. Hare Krishna.